Today, we're zeroing in on something, well, really fundamental to modern cars, but maybe a bit underestimated. Tire pressure monitoring systems, TPMS.
Yeah, exactly. Since 2007 in the US, pretty much every car rolling has one.
Right.
Mandatory.
And while you might think, okay, it tells me if my tire's low, that's just scratching the surface, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Our mission today really is to get into what makes a good TPMS tool for a shop. We're going beyond just, checking pressure.
We want to give you that practical knowledge, whether you're actually working on cars, running a shop, or even if you're just fascinated by how this auto tech stuff works.
It's about understanding what separates the basic from the truly effective.
Okay, let's get into it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to ShopTalk, the podcast where auto repair pros get real insights to grow smarter, run smoother, and boost profits. Let's jump right in then. How has diagnosing these systems changed? It hasn't always been this complex, has it?
No, not at all. What's interesting is how this seemingly simple warning light has evolved into quite a diagnostic puzzle. Early on, you basically had two main camps.
Okay.
Direct TPMS, that's with actual sensors inside each tire sending pressure data, and then indirect TPMS.
Indirect. How does that work?
Clever, really. It uses the existing ABS wheel speed sensor. If one tire starts rotating faster than the others, the system infers it might be underinflated because the diameter is smaller.
So it's using existing hardware. Smart. But I guess the direct sensor gives you a more direct reading?
Exactly. More precise. And it's with those direct systems where the real diagnostic fun begins.
Fun, meaning complicated.
Well, yes. You've got the obvious things like a sensor just failing. But then you add computer glitches in the TPMS module itself, sensor batteries dying, they don't last forever.
Right.
You can get radio frequency interference messing with the signal, and even simple mistakes like incorrect programming after someone rotates the tires or replaces a sensor.
So it's definitely more involved than just a low tire warning.
Way more, and then you throw in the relearn procedures.
Oh, yes. You mentioned those. What's the deal there? Sounds like a potential bottleneck.
It really can be. See, every manufacturer seems to have its own unique handshake for how the car learns which sensor is where.
Like different languages?
Sort of. Some need you to plug a scan tool into the OBD2 port to kick off the relearn. Others have this, stationary method, maybe a sequence with the ignition key, sometimes using the TPMS tool near each wheel.
Okay.
And then there are auto-learn systems that just figure it out after you drive for a bit.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot of variation.
Exactly. And that variety is precisely why having a versatile kind of do-it-all TPMS tool is becoming essential.
Yeah.
You just can't afford to turn away a car because your tool doesn't speak its specific TPMS language.
No kidding. Time is money in a shop, fumbling around or worse, sending work elsewhere because of a tool limitation that hurts.
Big time. Efficiency, reputation, it all takes a hit.
So let's get into these do-it-all tools. What are the absolute non-negotiable features a shop needs to look for?
Okay, first up, and this is fundamental, frequency coverage. Think of it like radio stations.
Great.
TPMS sensors talk to the car wirelessly using specific radio frequencies. The two big ones are 315 megahertz and 433 megahertz.
And those cover most vehicles.
The vast majority, yeah. Most domestic North American cars use 315. A lot of European and Asian cars use 433, so your tool has to handle both.
That seems obvious, really. One tool for both frequencies avoids juggling devices, saves cost up front. It's just sensible.
It is, like having that universal travel adapter. You just need it.
Okay, so frequency coverage is base level. What's next?
Next is OBD2 connectivity. Being able to talk directly to the car's brain through that OBD2 port is critical for a lot of modern TPMS work.
Especially for those relearns you mentioned.
Exactly. Remember the three types: stationary, auto-learn, and OBD2 relearn. A good tool needs to support all three, but that OBD2 capability is key for many newer vehicles. It's how the tool directly tells the car, hey, here's the info for the new sensor in the front left wheel.
Got it. So the tool basically introduces the new sensor to the car via the OBD port?
Precisely. And some tools go a step further with bidirectional OBD2 capability.
Meaning it can talk and listen.
Well, more like read and command. It can send instructions back to the car's modules.
Like what, for instance?
The big one is resetting the TPMS warning light directly through the OBD port without needing the customer to drive the car through a whole cycle.
Oh, that's huge. So no more drive it for 15 minutes and see if the light goes out?
Exactly. Huge time saver right there. Speeds up the whole process immensely.
Okay, I can see how that pays for itself quickly. Now what about interacting with the actual sensors in the tire?
Right, that brings us to sensor programming and cloning. This is super important. A versatile tool needs to be able to program blank aftermarket universal sensors.
Universal sensors, so you don't need shelves full of different pre-programmed ones.
Correct. It's a massive win for inventory management. You stock fewer part numbers, these blank universal sensors, and just program them for the specific make, model, and year you're working on right then and there.
That sounds way more efficient. Less capital tied up in stock? And cloning, what's that about?
Cloning is another time-saving trick. It lets you copy the unique ID number from the old sensor, assuming it's still transmitting, onto the new universal.
So the car thinks it's still talking to the same old sensor.
Pretty much, yeah. Since the ID hasn't changed from the car's perspective, you often get to skip the whole relearn procedure altogether. Like copying a house key, the lock doesn't know it's a copy.
Clever, but yeah. Is there a catch? You mentioned assuming it's still transmitting.
Well, yeah, that's one thing. And also, you need to be a bit careful. If the original sensor was maybe failing intermittently or had a weak battery, just cloning its ID onto a new sensor?
You're just cloning the problem.
Potentially, yes. So it's crucial that the tool also lets you program a completely fresh new ID onto a sensor. You need both options. Cloning for speed when appropriate, programming for a clean slate when needed.
Makes sense. You need the right tool for the right situation.
And speaking of sensors, a really good tool will also let you check the sensor's condition, things like its battery level and how strong its signal transmission is.
Proactive diagnostics.
Exactly. You can spot a sensor that's about to fail before it leaves the customer stranded with a warning light. That adds real value.
Definitely builds customer trust. Okay, so the tech side is covered, but what about the tech using the tool day in, day out in a busy shop?
Absolutely critical point. User interface and ease of use. You can have the most powerful tool in the world, but if it's confusing or slow to use, techs won't like it and it won't be efficient.
So clear menus, easy to read screen.
Yep. Simple navigation, decent sized display, clear instructions on screen, and, this is non-negotiable, regular software updates.
Keeping up with new cars and sensors.
You got it. Cars change every year. New models, new sensor types, new procedures. If the tool manufacturer isn't pushing out regular updates, your expensive tool could become a paperweight pretty quickly for newer vehicles. It's like antivirus software, gotta keep it current.
Good analogy. You don't want to be caught out. Are there any other features that maybe get overlooked but are really useful?
Yeah, data logging and reporting. A tool that can save the details of a TPMS service, sensor IDs, pressures, any codes found, the procedures performed.
Like a service history for the TPMS.
Exactly. It's fantastic for tracking recurring problems on a specific vehicle, and it's great for showing the customer exactly what was done, if you can export or print that data.
Adds a layer of professionalism. Proof for insurance, baby?
For sure. Documentation is always good, builds trust, clarifies work done.
Makes sense. Now, these tools aren't exactly handled with kid gloves, are they? Shops can be tough environments.
Oh, definitely not. They get dropped, bumped, exposed to grease and grime. So durability and build quality are really important.
Look for something rugged.
Yeah, a solid, robust casing, maybe some rubber protection. It might cost a bit more upfront, but a tool that lasts is a better investment than replacing a cheaper one every year or two. And check the warranty. A good warranty shows the manufacturer stands behind the build quality.
Right. A higher initial cost can mean lower total cost of ownership. Okay, we've covered a ton of features. How does a shop actually pick the right tool for them? It must depend on the shop size and workload, right?
Absolutely. It's not one size fits all. For, say, smaller shops or maybe mobile mechanics, budget is often a key factor.
So focus on the essentials.
Exactly. Get a solid tool that reliably does the core stuff, activates sensors, covers both frequencies, handles all the relearn types, and has that crucial OBD2 connectivity. You can find cost-effective options that nail these basics.
Makes sense. Get the fundamentals right without paying for features you might rarely use. Yeah. What about mid-sized shops?
Yeah, for mid-range shops, they're probably seeing a wider variety of vehicles, maybe higher volume. They're looking for that sweet spot between price and performance.
So maybe faster operation, broader vehicle coverage.
Right. A tool that's quicker, covers more makes and models efficiently, maybe has a few more diagnostic bells and whistles without breaking the bank. It needs to keep up with a decent workflow.
Okay. And then the big players, the high-volume shops?
For high-volume shops or dealerships, investing in a top-tier tool often makes strong business sense.
What extras do those typically offer?
You're looking at things like built-in technical service bulletins or databases, vehicle-specific procedures right on the tool, wireless connectivity for super easy updates and data transfer, maybe more advanced diagnostic capabilities, digging deeper into module issues. Some even integrate with the shop's management software.
So serious efficiency gains for shops doing tons of TPMS work.
Definitely. The initial cost is higher, sure, but the time savings and advanced capabilities can provide a really significant return on investment for them.
And you mentioned mobile mechanics earlier. Let's circle back. They have unique needs, right? Beyond just budget.
For sure. For mobile mechanics, everything needs to be portable. So compact size, lightweight design, that's huge.
Which makes sense. Lugging heavy gear is no fun.
And battery life, really important when you might not be near a power outlet all day. And wireless connectivity is almost essential. Syncing data, maybe getting remote support, updating on the fly, it all needs to work seamlessly out in the field.
So portability, power, and connectivity are paramount for them.
Got it. Now, it sounds like even with the best tool on the planet, how you use it still matters. Best practices.
Oh, absolutely. Technology is great, but technique is crucial. Number 1, instrumental music plays. Always double-check sensor IDs before you program or clone anything. One wrong digit can cause a world of headaches.
Yeah, measure twice, cut once kind of thing.
Exactly. Also, you absolutely have to follow the specific relearn procedures for that vehicle. Don't assume a Ford relearn is the same as a Toyota relearn. They're often wildly different. Stick to the script provided by the tool or service info. Don't wing it. And we've said it before, but it bears repeating. Keep that tool software updated regularly. It's the only way to ensure you can handle the newest cars walking through the door. Makes sense. Stay
current. Anything else?
Well, for shops that really want to excel, consider investing in proper TPMS training or even certification for your techs. It just deepens their understanding and makes them much more efficient at tackling tricky problems. So, the tool is vital, but the person using it needs the knowledge too. It's a combination.
It really is. Choosing the right TPMS tool isn't just buying equipment, it's an investment in your shop's efficiency, diagnostic accuracy, and honestly, your customer satisfaction levels. A good, versatile tool is pretty much table stakes now.
So, the big takeaway for you listening is, don't underestimate TPMS. Selecting the right tool, understanding its features, and using it correctly is key. It's way more than just a pressure check device.
Definitely. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. As automotive tech gets more and more advanced, with tools like these doing amazing things, never forget the value of just careful work. That attention to detail combined with continuous learning, that's still what makes a truly great technician. Even the smartest tool needs skilled hands guiding it.
Exactly. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Shop Talk by ShopOfficer. If you found this helpful, share it with a fellow mechanic or shop owner and follow for more real-world advice. Want to take your shop digital? Visit ShopOfficer.com to get started for free. Until next time, keep wrenching smarter.
1, 2,